I guess we got to 11, but we're doing this again. I'm gonna have to do 2 parts. I think I'm just gonna check where this chapter ends at what page. It's 7, so let's do this. Could sulk for a long time with Julian and Dick. They just wouldn't let anyone feel left out or awkward or sulky. Wasn't pretty familiar? Let me start that. Okay, I'm gonna from this one. I wish we could have some more exciting adventures. Not a hope of this time, Mum. There's one sec about these halls, said Julian, and that's the tutor. I hear we've got to have one because Dick and I miss so much school this term, and we've got to take important exams next summer. Yes, said Anne. I wonder what he'll be like. I do hope he will be a sport. Uncle Quentin is going to choose one today. Jen and Nick made faces at one another. They felt sure that any tutor chosen by Uncle Quinn would be anything but a sport. Uncle Quinn's idea of a tutor would be somebody strict and gloomy and forbidding. Never mind, he wouldn't come for a day or two, and he might be fun. The boys cheered up and pulled Timothy's thick coat. The dog pretended to growl and bite. He wasn't worried about tutors. Lucky Timothy. They all arrived at Curtin Cottage. The boys were really pleased to see their aunt, and rather relieved when she said that their uncle had not yet come back. He's gone to see 2 or 3 men who have answered the advertisement for a tutor, she said. It won't be long before he's back. Mother, I haven't got to do lessons in the halls too, have I? Asked George. Nothing had yet been said to her about this, and she longed to know. Oh, yes, George, she said her mother. Your father has seen your report, and although it isn't really a bad one, we certainly didn't expect a marvellous one. Still, it does show that you're behind your age in some things. A little extra coaching will help you along. George looked gloomy. She had expected this, but it was tiresome all the same. Anne's the only one who won't have to do lessons, she said. I'll do some too, promised Anne. Perhaps not always, George, if it's a very fine day, for instance, but sometimes just keep you company. Thanks, said George, but you needn't. I shall have Timothy. George's mother looked doubtful about this. We'll have to see what the tutor says about that, she said. Mother, if the tutor says I can't have Timothy in the room, I generally won't do holiday lessons, began George fiercely. Her mother laughed. Well, here's our feisty hot temper George again, she said. Go along, you 2 boys, and wash your hands and do your hair. You seem to have collected all the grim on the railway. The children and Timothy went upstairs. It was such fun to be 5 again. They always counted Tim as one of themselves. He went everywhere with them, and he really seemed to understand every single word they said. I wonder what sort of a tutor Uncle Quinn would choose, said Dick, as he scrubbed his nails. If only you would choose the right kind, someone jolly and full of fun, who knows the holiday lessons is keen to have, and tries to make up for them by being a sport out of lesson time. Suppose we'll have to work every morning. Hurry up, I want my tea, said Julian. Come on down, Dick. We'll know about the tutor soon enough. They all went down together and sat round the table. Johnny, the cook, had made a lovely lot of buns and a great big cake. There was not much left of either by the time the 4 children had finished. Uncle Quinn returned just as they were finishing. He seemed rather pleased with himself. He shook hands with the 2 boys and asked them if they had a good term. Did you get a tutor, Uncle Quinn? Asked Anne, who could see that everyone was suddenly bursting to know this. Ah, yes, I did, said Uncle. He sat down while Aunt Fanny poured him out a cup of tea. I interviewed 3 applications and had almost chosen the last one when another fella came in, all in a hurry, said he had only just seen the advertisement and hoped he wasn't too late. Did you choose him? Asked Dick. I did, said his uncle. He seemed a most intelligent fellow. Ethan knew about me and my work, and he had the most wonderful letters of recommendation. I don't think the children need to know all these details, muttered Aunt Fanny. Anyway, you asked him to come? Oh, yes, said Uncle Quentin. He's a good bit older than the others. They were rather young fellows. This one seems very responsible and intelligent. I'm sure you'll like him, Fanny. He'll fit in here very well. I feel I would have to choose him to talk to me sometimes in the evening. The children couldn't help feeling that the new tutor sounded rather alarming. Their uncle smiled at the gloomy faces. You're like Mr. Ronald, he said. He knows how to handle youngsters. No, also he's got to be very firm, and to see you get a good bit more out at the end of the holidays than you did at the beginning. This sounded even more alarming. All four children wished heartily that Aunt Fanny had been to choose the tutor and not Uncle Quentin. When is he coming? asked George. Tomorrow, said her father. You can all go meet him at the station. That will make a nice welcome for him. We had thought of taking the bus and going to do a bit of Christmas shopping, said Julian, seeing Anne look very disappointed. Oh no, you must certainly go, Miss. You all know you must certainly go and meet Mr. Ronald, said his uncle. I told him you would. And mind you four, nonsense with him. No nonsense with him. You do as you're told, and you must work hard with him, because your father's paying very high fees for his coaching. I'm paying a third because I want him to coach George a little too. So George, you must do your best. I'll try, said George. If he's nice, I'll do my very best. You'll do your very best whether you think he's nice or not, said her father, frowning. You will arrive by the 10:30 train. Be sure to be there in time. I do hope he won't be too strict, said Dick. That evening when the five of them were alone for a minute or two. It's going to spoil the holes. If we have someone down on us all the time, I do hope he'll like Timothy. George looked up at once. Like Timothy, she said. Of course I like Timothy. How couldn't he? Well, your father didn't like Timothy very much last summer, said Dick. I don't see how anyone could dislike darling Tim. But there are people who don't like dogs, you know, George. If Mr. Ronald doesn't like Timothy, I'll not do a single thing for him, said George. Not a single thing. She's gone all fierce again, said Dick with a smile. My word, the spikes will fall if Mr. Ronald dares to dislike our Timothy. That's the end of chapter 2. We still got a bit of time, so let's read chapter 3. Let me check how many pages are there. We got 12 pages. Chapter 3, The New Tutor. Next morning, the sun was out. All the sea mists that had hung about for the last 2 days had disappeared, and Kenton Island showed plainly at the mouth of Curling Bay. The children stared longingly at the ruined castle on it. I do wish you could go over to the castle, said Dick. It looks quite calm enough, George. It's very rough by the island, said George. It's always is at this time of the year. I know Mother wouldn't let us go. It's a lovely island, and it's all our own, said Anne. You said you would share it with us forever and ever. Didn't you, George? Yes, I did, said George, and so I will. Dungeons and all. Come along, we must get the trap out. We shall be late meeting the train if we stand there all day looking at the island. They got the pony and trap set off down the hard lanes. Clinton Island disappeared behind the cliffs as they turned inland to the station. Did all this land found about belong to your family once upon a time? Asked Julian. Yes, all of it, said George. Now we don't own anything except Clinton Island, our own house, and that farm away over there, Clinton Farm. She pointed with her whip. The children saw a fine old farmhouse standing on a hill a good way off. Over the Heather-clad common. Who lives there? asked Julian. Oh, an old farmer and his wife, said George. They were nice to me when I was smaller. We'll go over there one day if you like. Mother says they don't make the farm pay anymore, and in the summertime they take in people who want a holiday. Listen, that's the train whistling the tunnels, said Julian suddenly. Look up, for goodness sake, George. We shan't be there in time. The 4 children from Miffy looked at the train coming out of the tunnel and driving in at the station. The pony clattered along swiftly. They would be just in time. "Who's going to the platform to meet him?" asked George as they drew into the station yard. I'm not. I must look after Timothy and the pony." "I don't want to," said George. "I don't want to," said Anne. "I'll stay with George." "Well, we'd better go off then," said Julian, and he and Dick leaped out the trap. They ran onto the platform just as the train pulled up. Not many people got out. A woman clambered out with a basket. And a young man leaped out whistling the song of the baker in the village. An old man climbed down with difficulty. The tutor could be none of them. So we're going to this and then it will be posted and I'll try and make the thingy. I'm only going to take this in school on the actual day that it's due. So moving and how to read it.